Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another edition of what they call airplane mode. The Tuesday night flight. It's the big guy KG sitting in. You can't see him right now, but you see him in a second. Is the gentleman Jack. Should be joined by none other than the Midnight Rider later on. Jack, how you feeling
What's up?
tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. We had a great part one of our two-piece in the passenger seat this week. Last night we had Kent Island High School five-time state champion Coach Bob Woolley on there, and then this Wednesday, the regular night, 8 p.m. We got a two-time All-American from the University of Maryland. I believe he is class of 2002. He is going to be a lacrosse player, going to be on the show. So we got like a two-time week, and we got a double bubble of lacrosse for you. So if you want to get your lacrosse fix in, man, five-time state champion coach and a two-time All-American player, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Peep.
Like to hear that. And also, while you checking out in the passenger seat, don't forget to go check out Drive Time featuring Matty Ice. You got the Sunday Rise, Saturday Night WrestleManiacs, Thursday Night Throwdown, and of course, you sitting right in on the Tuesday night flight tonight. And don't forget to click like and subscribe.
Right.
Sideline Jumpers on YouTube, also Odyssey, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Any place that you can stream or put a music podcast, whatever, we there. So
We everywhere, baby.
we everywhere, baby. That's what Jack say. We got to start this off with a little sadness. One of the purple people eaters. For those of you that are not old enough, purple people eaters was defensive line of the Minnesota Vikings in the 60s and early 70s. Jim Marshall passed away today. Yep, today is the 3rd. He passed away today at the age of 87. He was a fourth round pick in the 1960 NFL draft, picked by Cleveland. Played a season in Cleveland, then played from 61 to 79 with Minnesota. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I wish I knew how to do the screen, but
it's
like
funny you do that because I had one set up for you. Because it's funny you did that.
I did you.
Let me show you what I got.
I'm out. We're both controlling.
Boom. There you go. I got one too.
Oh yeah,
so
you
look,
do.
we was already on point.
Yeah, you do. Yes,
We was
sir.
already on. We was thinking
man.
light.
Jim Marshall, man, them purple people eaters, they was my dogs, man.
Him, Carl Eller,
Alan Page,
great, Alan Page, Justice Alan Page, and Gary Lawson made up the Purple People Eaters. Out of them, Alan Page and Carl Eller are the only ones in the Hall of Fame right now. If I'm not mistaken, Carl Eller's in the Hall of Fame. Let me double. Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame. We've been trying to get Jim Marshall in the Hall of Fame for years, which he should have been years ago. 130 sacks, a safety, 30 fumble recoveries, one interception, one defensive touchdown. Has the record for most games started. Let me make sure I got that right. Hold on. Let me go back to my notes here.
I thought an offensive lineman
Most
had that
games
right.
played by a defensive player and most consecutive starts. Most consecutive starts, 270. And most games played by a defensive player, 282. He is known famously for his wrong way run against the San Francisco 49ers, where he scooped up a fumble and ran it the wrong way. But that was not the highlight of his career. That's something that he's known for. But that wasn't the highlight of his career. The highlight of his career is getting 130 sacks, 130 and a half sacks that were unofficial. They had to go back and count those sacks. So, sad, man. Sad. Say he had been in the hospital for quite some time. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, 88 years. Time. I'd be cool with that.
Agreed. He holds several NFL records. Most seasons played by a defensive player at 20. Most
Wow.
complete seasons played by a defensive player at 20. Most consecutive games played by a defensive player 289. Most consecutive regular season games played by a defensive player 282. Most consecutive game starts by a defensive player at 277. Most consecutive regular season starts played by a defensive player 270. Most consecutive regular season starts played with one team 270. Most opponent fumbles recovered in 29. Most fumble recoveries by a defensive end at 30. And most yardage lost on a fumble recovery with 66. So
That's a lot of
rest in
fumbles.
peace. Yeah. Rest in peace to Jim Marshall, and condolences to his family.
Definitely.
And the rest of the Purple People Eaters, man. First one to go. Now we talking about first one to go, not the first one to go, but Tibbs got fired today, Jack.
Yeah.
Tibbs got freaking fired today.
Oh boy.
Can I say I was shocked? I can say that. I was shocked. He started out in New York 2021. New York went 41-31 that year. Then the next season they came back 37-45, and then 47-35 the following year. Last year they were 50-32, and this year they were 51-31. Every year they got better. They lost in the first round his first year, 4-1. They missed the playoffs, and they lost in the conference semis twice, 2 years in a row, and they lost in the conference finals. And they let Tibbs go. Not going to say that I'm happy about it, but okay. Jack, what's your thoughts on Tibbs getting fired from the New York Knickerbockers?
I mean, they're just making him the scapegoat, dude. I don't feel Tibbs did nothing wrong. They got outplayed by Indiana. The players got out hustled by Indiana, not the coach. Tibbs put together back-to-back 50-win seasons. That's pretty good. You got to look at the front office and what the team has done with this team that's kind of handcuffed Coach Thibodeau. You know, they got Bridges. They picked Bridges. They spent a fortune to get Bridges, man. They gave up like 5 picks for him. Then they gave up DiVincenzo, and another pick to get Towns. So you're looking at 6 picks just taken from the man. So I don't think Thibodeau should have went. It's front office, in my opinion. So if he wants to coach again, there's a job out there for him, and he'll be back if he wants to return.
I agree with that. I'll agree with that. There will be. It's always a market for a Thibodeau, and you know I would love to see him. I love to see him right back in Chicago because under Tibbs,
I know you would.
We won.
Yeah.
We won 62. We won 50, 45, 48, 50. And 2 of those years, we got cheated out of a championship run. One was because we had to play the Miami Heat in 2010, 2011. And we had to play the Heat and the refs. In 2011, 2012, we lost Derrick Rose in the first round. So we lost our guy. But Tibbs won't be on the coaching carousel for long. Speaking on the coaching carousel, who could be the next coach for the Knickerbockers there, Jack?
I've been trying to rack my brain about that since this news broke today. I don't know. I really don't know what direction they're going to go. As I said, this caught me off guard. I never thought they was going to get rid of Tibbs. I thought, I considered it a successful season. I mean, they're saying since they didn't get to the finals, it was not a successful season. But as you said, they got better every year damn near. So how is that not success? I understand it's the big city. It's New York. And shit, First time in the championship in 25, 30 years. So I understand the impatience of everybody. But I feel this was a successful season for the New York Knickerbockers. I really do.
Well, I got a couple of names I'm going to throw out there. And, Jack, I want you to tell me yes or no.
Okay, I can do that.
First name, Mike Malone, former coach
Time
of
out.
the Denver Nuggets.
Time out.
Yes, sir.
You got a little Chinese lady behind you. What's going on?
Oh, shoot.
There was.
Look, she pop in every once in a while.
Is it the TV?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And even with a green screen.
That's all right.
Even with a green screen, she show up. So
that's all right. I thought it was Meatloaf at first.
No. She would already said, Papa, can I record?
All right, go ahead. Excuse me for interrupting. That just tripped me out. She was right over your shoulder, dude, like she was peeping. So let's go back. Who did you mention?
Mike Malone. Mike Malone's your first one.
Utah Jazz former coach, right?
Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets coach. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. Malone seemed comfortable in the announcing role he debuted this year. I don't know if he's going to come back to coaching. But, yeah, he'd be nice. I didn't even think about him. Who else you got?
All right. Former Bucks and that world champion head coach, Mike Budenholzer.
He's been gone for a little while, hasn't he?
Not
he coached this year?
Longer. No. I think Budenholzer's last coach was last year. Hold on, let me double check.
So he's still been.
No, he did coach this year. He did coach. He coached Phoenix this year. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. That was a mess to coach right there. Shit.
Yeah.
I'd take a pass on him. If I was the Knicks, I'd take a pass on him.
Okay. Would you want some fresh blood?
As in college blood or an assistant coach turning head coach? Fresh blood.
A long-time assistant coach that turns head coach. Yeah. And I'm saying, now, if Midnight Rider was here, he'd probably give me a hell of shit about it. But Sam Cassell.
Sam's already been a head coach, hasn't he?
No, sir. Every time he gets interviewed, he never gets the job.
Really? Okay. I know he was with the Wizards for a minute on assistant role, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he hadn't had a head coach job yet, I feel he's ready. He's put in his dues. He's been out of the league a while. He's been on the bench, hopefully collecting some knowledge and ready to go to the next step. Sam Cassell, yeah, I could see him getting a shot. And being the big time player he was, New York would like that. That's a flashy hire to hire a guy like Sam Cassell. So that's the perfect kind of fit if you think of it. But yeah, I could say okay with that.
All right. Two more. Frank Vogel was one. World champion. Don't give a damn what nobody says. World champion Frank Vogel.
I don't think he could fit in New York. I don't think he'd fit in there. I could see him in Denver. But I don't know if Denver's going to end up just keeping their intern coach or not. I haven't heard nothing about that yet. So, yeah. I don't see him in New York.
Now, I'm going to throw one out there. Him and Knight Rider go. I told you he was going to have something to say. See, I got to say this stuff when he's not here.
You did. You called it.
Now, I'm going to throw one out there. Now, this is a long shot. He does have head coaching experience. He also has assistant coach experience.
Okay.
It's a legacy pick, but Patrick Ewing.
I don't know, man. They're gonna get the love from being a Knick, but I don't know that you go that way. And Sam Cassell was a Nick as well, if I'm not mistaken. But Pat,
double check that. I think Sam Cassell played for so many different people.
He did. He played for a ton. But Pat, I don't see it. I don't feel he has enough successful bench time, if that's a way you could put it. I don't feel Patrick Ewing has grown enough on the bench because it was a shit show at Georgetown. And I ain't trying to. I saw your eyes. I was expecting that. But I don't think he has enough successful bench time. That's the only way I can word it there. I don't see Pat ready. And you don't hire a former legend just to hire a former legend.
Right. And it was a shit show at Georgetown, number one, because we didn't have the players and everything that we needed. But it's okay. It's done. But Sam Cassell was in New Jersey, not New York. So he was at close, but not quite.
With the Nets, okay.
So, but those are
2 out of 5
top candidates.
Huh?
I said those are my top candidates.
Yeah, I like 2 out of 5 of them.
Okay. I think, in my opinion, I threw Patrick Ewing in there. I don't think he's going to be in the running. He may interview for it, but I don't think they'll hire him for it. But I think they'll go either Budenholzer or Mike Malone. You can't go wrong with either one of those two.
If Malone comes out of the booth, or
if he comes out of
if he comes out of doing what he's doing, he would be a good pick. Yeah, hell yeah. Because I don't think Malone deserved to be gone in Denver in the first place. So these are two firings that I disagree with. The Denver firing early, right before playoffs, and then the New York firing now. When I saw it come across ESPN, I had to double look, man. Thought he was getting coach of the year or something. Nah, he got fired.
All right. Well, we're gonna keep it moving. Jack, you said you got something about the Women's College World Series. What you got, man? Because I heard the defending champion has been knocked out.
The defending champ, what is it? 4-time defending? Four Pete? No, they're 3-time. They were going for 4, I believe. Oklahoma Sooners hung on the best they could, man. They got knocked into the loser bracket early. And when you get in that losers bracket, man, you got to fight and claw and claw. And they managed to get 2 wins in the losers bracket, but just ran into a tough squad from Texas. And they took them out on a walk-off. Texas Tech beat Oklahoma 3-2 on a walk-off after Oklahoma tied it up in the top of the 7th. There's been great games, great scores. There's been 2 walk-offs. There's been a stealing home base. A young lady stole home early in the tournament. Then there's been a home run, and then the woman didn't touch the plate. But she did not get called out for being assisted to touch the plate through reviews. So we had a controversy in this World Series. It's been one of the most exciting women's softball World Series in recent years. I mean, and you got new blood, Texas and Texas Tech. Texas, they're both led by strong pitchers, Mac Morgan and Tegan Caven over at Texas. They teamed together yesterday to close out Tennessee 7-0. They teamed up and threw a hell of a shutout. And then Texas Tech has probably the player of the year. She's a candidate, but I guarantee you she's probably going to win player of the year. It's Najari Kennedy. She is a pitcher and a bomber. She'll hit long balls too. She's really leading that team. This is Texas Tech's 3rd College World Series championship in 4 years. They've been in this championship game 3 times in 4 years, only to lose twice to Oklahoma, the dominant team. So everybody's wondering, is this Oklahoma dynasty over? Because, I mean, they've been dominating 8-10 years maybe. We'll see. Texas coach Mike White, he's got, I think, more offense on his side than Texas Tech. So 5-run game maybe. You might see 5. because both of them have beast pitching. Both of them. I mean, Kennedy's got a .90 ERA. She gives up less than 1 run a game. That's hard to beat. So they match up. Oh crap! When do they match up tomorrow? Let me get that schedule up for everybody. I apologize. Match up. That's the wrong one, damn it. Well, I believe the Texas Tech game is on tomorrow. I will let you know further in the episode. KG, what you got next?
Number one, I've been peeking in at the Women's College World Series, and I've been trying to get my oldest daughter to watch because she's a former softball catcher, and I keep telling her, I want you to watch because I want you to get that fire back for the game. We work on it. You still got eligibility. Move to first base, baby, and you good. Everything else will come. She not trying to have it. She's like, nope. So she not trying to fall back into it, but I've been peeking.
That's who gets the big contracts: the pitchers, the catchers, and the first baseman.
Yeah. Have you been watching the Men's College World Series? What you got on that?
Whew, there's so much going on in that right now. Now you got to wait until they get it all the way down to the main World Series. They're finishing up a lot of the regionals right now, and been exciting games here. We've had small time schools make big ripples. I think it was Arkansas Little Rock made some damage in this. There's several other. I will put together the Men's College World Series update for Thursday, everybody. So I have something on that Thursday. It's really tightening up now, and the brackets are getting made. So I was concentrating more on women's because they're closing up with their championship tomorrow night, 8 p.m. ESPN. Check it out. These girls play great ball. Not being chauvinistic, but when they make them plays, like, damn. I mean, they're playing just as well as the boys, man. It's amazing. And that's like my host last night, Bob Woolley, said. Midnight Rider asked him something about, the difference in players today and players then. He's like, players today, they can work on their game year round. And that's what is happening throughout sports nationally. It's not just East Coast or West Coast. These athletes are getting so much better, so much quicker with this full-time training. So I tell you, any women's sport you watch nowadays, man, is top notch. I'm telling you. Just like we like WNBA, same, Women's sports has changed tremendously. Mute monster.
Speaking of changing, we got the French Open going on right now. I was trying to avoid that.
I had one the other night.
French Open
first time.
Look, we went so long without one. God daggone it. You had to make it back.
I know.
But the French Open is going on, and it's up until June the 8th, which is Sunday. Monday's action, Novak Djokovic won. He beat Norrie. What was that? Cameron Norrie.
Yeah.
Okay, I can click on that. 6-2, 6-3, 6-2. Today's action had what's my man name? Carlos Alcaraz beat Tommy Paul 6-love, 6-1, 6-4 straight sets.
Yeah.
On the women's side today, you had one overall Arana Zablenka beat Miss Zhang 7-6, 6-3. I don't have I got some schedule for tomorrow. Madison Keys and Coco Gauff face off tomorrow, 5 a.m.
That right there is all U.S. quarterfinal. All U.S. quarterfinal right there. That's nice.
And Mira Andreevia and Lois Boyson. Sorry if I'm butchering these names. I'm not a tennis guy. But they face off at 6:10 tomorrow morning. For the men's side tomorrow, Jannik Sinner and Alexander Bublik face off at 7:20. And Alexander Zverev and Novak Djokovic face off at 2:15 p.m. tomorrow. So you got some action. You got anything on the French Open there, Jack?
Well, I tell you, you mentioned Djokovic. Any tennis fans that are fans of Djokovic, you better start watching him now because I think his days are winding down. He's got some lower extremity problems, and yeah, he's a great tennis player. He's a legend. I just say, if you're a fan of his, you should start watching him because I don't think he's got many more tournaments in him. I'd love to see him win this. It always used to be Rafa Nadal's tournament when you come to the French, but Djokovic was always right there battling him. But Nadal used to always get the edge over him, I think, in the French.
Midnight Rider checking in. He says Tifoe lost today in 4 sets. So he's done. He also said, I'm waiting on the Kim Perrott name drop. And he said 4 people. What you waiting on the Kim Perrott name drop for? It's not relevant right now. We're not talking, scrappiest point guards, in WNBA history. We're not talking great point guards in WNBA history. So what you waiting on the name drop for? But I mean, one of these days I'll tell you a story.
Tell him get his butt home and jump in.
Cause he better get it. He better get home because it's about that time, Jack. It's Tuesday. The Midnight Ride ain't here, and he missing his favorite part of the show.
He could be.
Like, bro, it's all about the list.
Well, we could probably hit this Stanley Cup news while we wait for him.
Okay, well let's jump. Oh, then I can do that again because I like doing that. What you got in the Stanley Cup news? I like doing that.
Well,
because Stanley Cup starts tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yep. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers, Stanley Cup rematch. Florida is the current reigning champions. This is the 12th Stanley Cup rematch in NHL history. The goalies have been playing tremendous. I mean, Skinner, since early when he got smoked so much, he had like 2 or 3 games where he was smoked. And then he's been lights out since then. And then over at with the Panthers, you got that Bobrovsky. That dude's solid too. But I think Edmonton's just got too many guns. You got to worry about Sam Bennett on the Florida side. He's had a great playoff. But on the Edmonton side, Edmonton's got 9 players with 5 goals or more in this playoff. That seems like a high number to me. I know I'm not the hockey guru, but that's a lot of goals. So you got to watch out Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Evan Bouchard. Watch for him. I think Edmonton's going to take this in 6.
That's bold.
Everybody's picking Florida. Everybody. And the thing is, KG, the Cup has not been in Canada since 93.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's a long time that a Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup.
And if I'm not mistaken, this was the matchup last year that we were talking about. We said the same thing. It's been over 30 years since the Cup has been in Canada. We said the same thing.
Okay.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe that.
Go ahead and give me the Panthers with a nope. You know what? I'm gonna roll with you, Jack. I'm gonna roll with you. Give me Edmonton and 5, though. Give me Edmonton and 5. The Cup, Lord Stanley's Cup returns to the Canadian side of the line, the 51st state, if you will.
Okay.
But give me the Oilers in 5.
Okay, I see it.
I'm kind of nervous saying but look, don't bet with me. Don't bet with me. Not here. Not this. Not now.
I don't think I need to bet with you no more. I gotta catch up first. Next time I'm just gonna go 2 cheesesteaks. We betting 2 cheesesteaks because that's what I owe you. Double or nothing. I'll gladly pay you on Tuesday.
All right, Wimpy. All right.
Well,
We still waiting for the Midnight Rider, but let's jump off in this list and he can get his because this is the list. And the list tonight is the top 10 centers of all time. Now, this is the top 10 that was ranked, and I did not agree with. Let me turn that ticker off so you can see the bottom. Yeah. I did not agree with it. For those that can't see, now we're going to do our top 10, not your top 10, not whoever's top 10 this is. We're going to do our top 10. Kareem's number 1, Wilt's number 2, Bill's number 3, Hakeem's number 4, Shaq's number 5, the Admiral's number 6, Pat's number 7, Moses is 8, George Mikan's 9, and Dwight Howard is 10. I don't think Dwight Howard should be on this list at all. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. But Dwight Howard should not be on this list. You telling me Dwight Howard? Somebody said in the comments when I pulled it off X. They said you putting Dwight Howard over Dave Cowens? You putting Dwight Howard over Alonzo Mourning, Bob Lanier, Walt Bellamy? That's you putting Dwight Howard over these people. You putting Dwight Howard over Willis Reed? I think somebody said George Mikan is probably a legacy pick. And I'm like, yeah, I don't feel that way because he was dominant. But one thing that they always say is, oh, well, you can't be dominant if you're the tallest person there and this, that. You play the cards you were dealt. I don't want to hear that. Man. Jack, give me your top 10.
Where are we starting at?
Let's go ahead and start with number 10.
Start number 10. Well, my number 10, I'm going to put in out of respect. I didn't want to make this list and not have him on it. I know a lot of people are probably going to have him higher than I got him. But yeah, my number 10 is going to be George Mikan. Had to be on the list.
All right, let me write that down. Jack, KG. All right, for my number 10, jeez. If I had to really think about it, had to really dig into it, my number 10, I got to go with, honestly, one of the best defensive centers. And, you know, they say, well, Dwight Howard was that. No, Dwight Howard was no Dikembe Mutombo. So give me Mutombo at the number 10.
That's a good one. I'll go. I can see that. Shot blocking, fool. And his dipsy-do, his footwork was tremendous in the paint. So, yeah, I can see that. He probably on my honorable mention. We're going number 9.
Number 9.
David Robinson, the Admiral. The dominance he had in college, he brought right into the league and just dominated. Him and Pop put together a squad, and then he mentored Timmy Duncan into the league. Dave Robinson, top notch. He's my number 9 center.
I'm going to go with Willis Reed for my number 9. Willis Reed, 2-time champion, absolute monster. If it wasn't for the knee injuries, he probably would be higher. Number 8.
Number 8 for me was Bill Walton.
Ooh.
Same thing, dude. He was dominating in college, and he just came right into the league, man, balled out. You can't think of how could you say this, a more hardworking center than Bill Walton. He's on the floor, he's on the boards, he's passing, he's shooting. Bill Walton was a tremendous player to watch. So, Bill Walton, number 8 for me, big guy.
For me,
for you, number 8.
Called the homer for this. Alonzo Mourning. You talk about hard work. Alonzo Mourning worked hard in the paint. undersized because he was only 6'10", but was a absolute animal. He carried those early Charlotte teams. He carried the Heat. I was so happy to see him get a ring when he came back to the Heat in 03. I was happy to see him get a ring.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, that wasn't 03, that was 06. I'm sorry. That was 06. I was happy as hell to see him get a ring. So give me Alonzo Mourning at number 8. Number 7, Jack.
And number 7, I gotta put the high school phenom here. You know, Lefty Driesell thought he had his hooks in this ball player coming out of high school, but he said, "Nah, coach, I'm going NBA, so I'm gonna go Moses Malone as my number 7." I mean, just a big, powerful man. He controlled the paint. It was his. He owned it. So Moses, man, that's who I got there. My number 7.
I'm gonna go ahead and round it out with number 7 with my third and final Hoya, and that's Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, had 3 Hoyas.
Let's call a spade a spade. When you talk about big men, especially in my era of basketball, Patrick Ewing was one of the top big men in the league for majority of the 80s and all of the 90s. So
yeah,
gotta give it to him. Gotta give it to him. Number 6.
We're going to number 6. This is when it started getting tricky for me, man. But number 6, I'm going to put Wes Unseld, one of the best outlet passes I ever seen. And I've mentioned on previous shows, man, I went to Wes Unseld basketball camp for 3 years at Bowie State University when I was young. So Wes Unseld's got a special place in my heart. I got Wes Unseld from the Washington Bullets at the number 6 spot.
All right. For me, I got Moses Malone at the number 6 spot.
Okay.
Got Moses.
I think that's the first one I think we've both said.
Yeah. Well, no, we both got. Yeah, we got Moses because that's the first one we both said that this time, right now.
I think so. You didn't say Dave Robinson.
As of right now. Yeah.
Okay, as of right now. Got you.
As of right now.
All right.
Number 5.
Number 5 could be, for me on my list, he could be as high as number 2. But the other 4 players I just got to have ahead of this guy. This guy dominated. When you say big man, you talk about this guy. And I'm talking about Shaquille O'Neal. His dominance on the court, you don't even have to talk about it. What is he? 6-time champion? 5-time champion?
5 times.
So,
4 times.
So, yeah, I got Shaquille O'Neal at the number 5 spot.
At the number 5 spot, I got David Robinson, the Admiral. Like you said, you've never seen too many big men run the floor the way Robinson did, and he's one of the last quadruple double guys that you'll see. So,
I think Wemby could be a possibility of it one day, or Holmgren, but they don't pass enough to get the 10 assists. But I definitely know Wemby can do 10 blocks. I think he's already done it.
All right, number 4. Oh, that was number 4, wasn't it?
No, we're at number 4, big guy.
All right, number 4.
Number 4 for me. Man, he was part of them 80s Boston Celtics, man. You had that solid squad of Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish. I got the Chief at number 4. Ooh. Man, when you needed a bucket and you kick it into the Chief, he's gonna get you a bucket, whether it was a hook, a lay-in, a doopsie-doo. Chief is gonna score when Boston needed it. So that was some fun times watching Robert Parrish and the Boston Celtics in the 80s. I got Robert Parrish at the number 4 spot.
My number 4 is one Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal. Always will be one of my favorite centers I watch play, but definitely top five. Number three.
Number 3 is crazy, man, because I'm looking at the current list on the screen here. My number 3 looks pretty similar to that, but at number 3, I got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I know he was the leading scorer for so many years and got so many championships, but I got 2 guys ahead of Jabbar. So Kareem will be my number 3.
All right. I got Kareem at number 3 too, and the Midnight Rider has joined us finally.
What's up, babe?
Man, I don't know what's happening in DC tonight, but I think either there's a shooting or something. I got 2 southeast and had to drive. Couldn't make the left on the Martin Luther King, so I had to go around and hit South Capitol. Hit Suitland Parkway. So I would have been here like 10 minutes ago, probably 15, but it is what it is, man. I want to just come in and listen to the Centers talk because I missed the memo on this.
Yeah, because you couldn't check it, but we doing your top 10 centers of all time. Yours, not nobody else's. Yours.
Can I ask a question? Because I heard this on my way in. What's up with the Dwight slander with you guys, man? What did Dwight do to y'all?
Okay. You want to have a discussion? Let's have a discussion.
Dwight Howard took, what was that team in Orlando? Jesus Turkoglu, Michael Petras. He took that to the finals.
Okay.
Dwight was dominating for a minute, and then he decided to shoot jumpers and hooks because he listened to the media, but he still had a dominant run.
No slight to Dwight Howard. No slight whatsoever. I just can't put him on my top 10. Is he on the list? Yes, but I don't think he's top 10. I can name guys better than him. I don't think he's better than Wes Unseld. I don't think he's better than Artis Gilmore. I don't think he's better than Alonzo Mourning. I don't think he's better than Yao Ming. I don't think he's better than Walt Bellamy. I don't think he's better than Jack Sikma. I don't think he's better than Bob Lanier.
I think Yao has a health problem. So I don't think somebody like Yao and Sabonis may not be on this list because just their tenure in the league wasn't long enough.
Right. And some people want to throw Tim Duncan on it, but Tim Duncan's a power forward. Like I've been debating about Bill Russell because Bill Russell was a power forward mostly, but he was a center as well. So I've been debating about Bill Russell, but I think I figured that out. So,
well, Yao's on my honorable mention, and that's what I have next to it. You know, foot injuries, foot problems. If Yao could have put in 4 more years, maybe 5, I think this list could be different because Yao matched up and battled with Shaq. They were the 2 big guys then, man. I think Yao could have been on this list if he wasn't injured as much.
I think that playoff series, I think LA has to beat them in 7 if Yao was healthy the whole series. Or Houston could have stole it. Houston was good those 2 years.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm sorry.
My other honorable mentions, I had Yao Ming, Artis Gilmore, and I actually got the Joker on there. You don't see a center like that, man. You ain't never seen a center like him. So he was close to being my number 10, number 9, honestly, putting Joker up there.
Now, you talk about honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are a little more unconventional, but Yao's on my honorable mention, so it's Sabonis. Elvin Hayes.
I forgot about Sabonis.
Dan Issel, Ed McCauley, people that I've watched film on, not necessarily watched play. Jack Sikma was another one. The stories that I heard about nightmares that Sikma used to give people on the block. But even though he wasn't a center, if we were just talking bigs, and we need to do power forwards because we do power forwards. I gotta sit here and I gotta shower love on Kevin McHale. If we did power fours, I would have to shower love on Kevin McHale, the man with 1,000 moves on the block. But
arms for days.
That's
he drags knuckles.
That's for later.
Did we do small
forward
forward list already?
No, I don't think we did. Well, you already know who my number one is. So I ain't worried about that.
I think me and Ben did it while y'all was on hiatus. My number 2, I forgot where he was at number 2. My number 2 is the same as the number 2 on the list, Wilt Chamberlain. Ooh. I wish I got to see him play other than film because he just dominated. It's the proof's in the pudding. I mean, shit. Men, they didn't have big men like that. It's crazy. The big men back then just didn't have no coordination and stuff. So he was playing against small dudes, and the lane was a lot smaller. You can put that on him as a little bit of a con, but you can't beat what Wilt Chamberlain did on the court, man. The numbers he put up are tremendous. So I got him. I got Wilt Chamberlain number 2 on mine. What you got, big guy?
I got Hakeem Olajuwon. That's my number 2.
I forgot about him. Mm-hmm.
So I got. I mean, you know, some of the best footwork for a big man. That dream shake. Ask David Robinson about it. Ask Shaq about it because he gave both of them the business.
Oh, definitely
in the playoffs on the biggest stage.
Definitely.
So most definitely.
Who did you have at 10?
Yeah,
I had Mount Mutombo at 10.
Who'd you have at 9?
Willis Reed.
8.
8 was Alonzo Mourning.
7.
Patrick Ewing.
Fuck it. 6.
Moses Malone.
I swore you said. And who did you have at 2?
I got Hakeem Olajuwon at 2.
Okay, I thought you said Hakeem earlier. Guess you didn't. That's a good choice. Hakeem, yeah, his footwork and his moves were unprecedented, man. He shake dudes out of their jock straps. You know what I'm saying? With that dream shake. Oh, yep. I go with that, KG. Like that. I wouldn't have had him as high, but I forgot about him because I didn't look at this list. Now.
I'm gonna tell you like this. My number 1's convoluted, so it's gonna cause controversy. So number 1, Jack.
My number 1, like I told you about, the top 3 on this list look very similar to the 3 on my list. Yeah, I'm reverse order of their top 3. Exact reverse order. I got Bill Russell, 11-time world champion. Bill Russell is my number 1 center. I've seen a tad of Bill Russell. I've seen a little bit of Bill Russell in the 70s.
My number 1, I can't have one without the other in my book. Because in my opinion, they go hand in hand in history. So it's Wilt and Bill. They go hand in hand. So that's my number 1. Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain is my number 1. Because they go hand in hand. I gotta have both. The most dominant.
I think all 3 of them. I think all 3 of them go hand in hand. KG, the top 3, all 3 of them can go hand in hand. You can say either one of those is the best, and I wouldn't argue with you.
I agree with that. But Jack,
what about you, Midnight Rider? You agree with that, Midnight Rider?
I'm open for debate on that. I'm open for conversation. I'm curious. Where did you guys have Shaq? No, where did you guys have Shaq on your list?
I don't
Shaq
think
4 for me, 5 for Shaq.
Yep, 5 for me. And I think that's appropriate behind those 4.
No, I just lost y'all when I was going to the store and then coming back. I lost y'all for a second, so I missed the early part of the list.
All right. You heard KG just bring his back to like number 5. I had George Mikan at number 10. I could not leave him off the list. I put him on the list out of respect. I would have put somebody else on there, but Mikan had a hell of a career. Number 9, I had David Robinson. Number 10, I had Bill Walton. Number 7, I had Moses Malone. And number 6, I had Wes Unseld. Number 5, I had Shaq. Number 4, I had Robert Parrish.
Ooh, that's dicey.
It's a push, but that's my guy.
I
And
got
this
you.
my list.
It's your list.
Let's get it.
That's
He had to be up there for me.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, I was going to go 4 Celtics on this list, but I only went 3.
And I should have put Mike
went all
on
Georgetown.
my list. Well,
you didn't put Mike on?
I didn't put Mike on my list. Not because of anything. It's because I actually forgot him. We were talking about him. I made the list and I forgot him. And I'm looking at the list, and because I said he shouldn't be as low. He shouldn't be 9 on this list. And I had made my list, and I was like, yeah, you left him off the list completely. So how disrespectful are you?
Yeah, this list I thought he'd be 5 or up, but Howard at 10. You got so many people. You can put Ming, you can put Gilmore. There's so many people you can put over Dwight Howard at 10. I don't have Dwight Howard in my top 20.
See?
Now
but see, Jack, I'm going to show you something.
That's a little tough right there.
I'm going to show you something,
He might
Jack.
get 25.
This right here is why Wilt and Bill Russell should be hand to hand. Greatest MVP race of all time. You got to show that. 18 and 23, 50 and 25. It don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that.
Them numbers are sick. Sick numbers.
And they talk about, this generation is more talented. That's not no talent. That right there is skill. That's skill.
You're never gonna see numbers like that again in the season. Never.
That's the only thing missing on the bingo card. I've been listening.
And then you get great numbers, out of Jokic this year. And Alexander, SGA does what he does. Yep. But I still think Jokic should have got the MVP.
Nah. The kid earned this one.
They just doing new blood, I think.
Nah, the kid earned that.
Jokic's already got one.
Scored one of the best team in the league.
Did.
And he actually makes that team what it is.
But Denver was the 3rd best team in the league.
Yeah, so
I don't know, man. You average a triple-double and outrageous rebounding numbers, man. It's just crazy what he's doing with the game at the center position, too. He's a player like we've never seen. Probably never going to see again.
Out of bounds, thank you. Kim Perrott was ahead of her time. Scrappy. Smallest thing on the court, but the live
we get another Kim Perrott? Who said that? You out of bounds. You out of bounds, KG. You out of bounds, KG. I don't even want to ask about y'all's Kim Perrott story. That's one of y'all.
All right, we still got another list to get to. Now the Midnight Rider is here, and this will work better for him.
What list?
Top 5 local announcers, DC edition. Maddie did top 5 announcers yesterday. Now we started on this.
We just did this every day. Okay.
Did we finish it? I thought we talked about it. We never gave the top 5.
We talked about it. I don't think we made a list. We just named some guys. We're talking about Chick Hernandez, Johnny Holiday. We talked about some guys.
We threw some names out there.
Ugh. Okay, let me see what I can put together for you. I'll do it.
I know Midnight Rider got it.
Nah, I gotta ask a couple qualifiers.
Okay.
I know how you like to usurp the rules and have 2 people at number 1.
Blame the People's Choice Don Rodriguez when it comes to criteria.
Okay. So my question is, are we just doing announcers or are we doing sportscasters, period? So do we get to include a George Michael, Glenn Brenner, or is this strictly on the play-by-play people?
Oh my God. See, I wanted to do a separate one for sportscast. I wanted to say sportscast for Thursday. Okay. Because if we do sportscast, that's a whole, that's at least 35 to 40 minutes of content right there if we just do sportscasters. Because we talking about an area that we grew up in, and we had some of the best in the country. So we'll say sportscasters for Thursday. We're going to do announcers. We're going to do play-by-play and colormen for the local teams.
All right.
Who your top 5?
So my 5 Number 5. Are we doing this round the horn, or are we doing each list?
No, because you didn't get in it. Jack got to get his together. I really want you to do your top 10 centers of all time before we leave. But I know you're open to it, and that might be putting too much pressure on you. So, give us your 5. Let Jack get his list together, and then I'll go.
All right, so I'm gonna say number 5 for me is Charlie Slows, Nats broadcaster, does the Nats radio. I mean, you could do both of them,
Dave
because they are a team. But I like Slows because Slows drops the remember where you are, remember where you were. I think that's his tagline. 4 for me would be Joe Beninati. I've watched enough caps that the way he captures the game, you got to give him love. He's probably one of the best. I mean, I think it's a reason why fans get upset when we can't get our local guys on the broadcast to do the games. So that would be 4. Number 3, Steve Buckhands. I can't do a list without Buckhands being on it. I might move him around higher, but right now I'm gonna keep him at 3. Number 2. I know where I want to go, but I don't know if I want to use him. 2 is the Caps radio guy. I can't think his name off the top. John something. Can't think his name off the top of my head, but he would be 2 because he does a great job of calling games. And then 1 is Frank Herzog. So it's Herzog. Gosh, I can't think of John's last name now for the Caps. Buckhands.
You're not talking about JB. You're not talking about Beninati.
Beninati was 4 on my list.
Okay, so you got Herzog.
Yeah, I can't. Why is John's name? I'm telling you, the second we finish this and we get in the wrap-up show, I'm gonna say his name. But no, he's 2. Yeah, Buckhands 3, Beninati 4, Slows is 5. That sounds good. I know I missed somebody. That's why I had to pause on 2 because I thought there's a name I'm thinking about that I can't think of, and one of you guys is gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, that's it.
Oh no, I can do mine. I can go 5 through 1 if you like. My number 5 going to be Glenn Brenner. It's been a while since I heard his games, but I remember always jumping in and sitting in front of the TV. Here's Glenn Brenner live. You know, just I like this personality. I like the way he talked. My number 4. He didn't call a lot of games. He had I think his fame was more into the news spot, like sports news, but he did call some games, and that's George Michael from NBC. I used to love the George Michael Sports Machine. Me and J-Dub, we sit up and watch that every Sunday night. So Michael's called some Redskin games for a while. I enjoyed him on the call. My number 3 has got to be 2 people because I can't name one without the other. And this is them in their prime now. This is not them toward the end of their broadcasting career. This is them in their prime. And that's Frank and Sonny. Frank Herzog and Sonny Jurgensen are my number 3. They have to be together because they were a hell of a team, guys. Number 2, being a guy that grew up near College Park, my father, a big Terps fan, went to a lot of games, listened to a lot of games in the car with my dad. So I'm a big fan of Johnny Holiday over there at the University of Maryland studios and announcers. And my number 1's got to be one of the biggest announcers from this area. I believe he's a DeMatha graduate. We're talking about Mr. James Brown. He's my number 1, and I think he's the number 1 announcer from this area right now.
Forget that bum.
Did he graduate from DeMatha in that runner?
Yeah. He's got some. We got some ties to him.
So none of mine were the one you were looking for.
Johnny Holiday was the one I was looking for, and then JB popped in last second, but me and JB got beef. So,
yeah. Well, that's the list of cats I listened to, in my younger days.
No, JB was good. JB transitioned real good into that role.
Yeah, I mean, and look at him. I mean, he's on NFL joints now and shit,
Yeah, he's doing NFL, and then he does. I don't think he's a pastor, but I know he's been ordained as a minister. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I always like JB. So these are pretty much announcers, because man, sometimes now I just phase announcers out. I hear you guys talk about current announcers a lot, but I guess it's because many of them irk me. Your Tony Romos, your Troy Aikmans, they irk me. And I end up just phasing the announcers out and focusing on the game. I don't need announcers to watch a game. Sometimes I even turn it down. So, yeah, I'm not as up to snuff on you guys as current announcers because nobody really tickles my fancy nowadays. I think they all talk too goddamn much, and half of them don't know what they're talking about.
Well, I agree
especially
with that.
If you're watching them, especially if you're watching them lower region games, you'll get the Joe Schmo announcer crew, and they just suck. So yeah, I don't pay attention to announcers as much today as I used to when I was a kid. Because when I was young, I used to always be. We had a court out back, and I might be on the side, and my buddy's playing one-on-one, and I'll be like, Johnny Holiday making the call. You act like the announcers, sometimes when you're younger. So that's how I remember these guys.
All right, KG. This is me throwing. This is probably me throwing you a curve, but you might be Serrano, or you might be Aaron Judge on it. Can you remember the cat from the ACC network that did the games on Saturday mornings?
Jefferson Pilot Sports.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know the network, but I don't know who you're talking about.
Their play-by-play guy was our guy every Saturday morning at 12 o'clock. He had every 12 o'clock game. And I can't think of his name for the life of me. I know you can Google it, but I was trying to see if you had it off the top of your head. Because he's a person that should get an honorable mention.
I know Doc used to do it.
It was his play-by-play guy.
Who was it? Let me see. Later known as Raycom Sports, Mike Patrick, Mike Hodgwood, Dave Neal, Dave Rowe, Tim Brandon, Fred White, Jeff Mullins, Mike Brenneman, Brad Nessler, Lynn Elmore, Woody Durham, David Archer, Tommy Bowden, Tim Brandt, and Steve
Tim Brandt's
Martin.
A good one. Actually,
Tim
Brandt is a good one.
Yeah, that perked my ears up.
Because Brandt was doing local, and then he got into the Jefferson Pilot and started calling games for him. I think he called as a replacement, and then he's been around for a while. He was around for a while.
Yeah, you might be talking about if you talking from the 90s into the 2000s. That's Steve Martin.
That doesn't sound like the thing, but okay. I probably got to hear the voice.
Right. All right. My five. Number 5, Rich Vodkin. Play-by-play announcer for the Georgetown Hoyas. You know it's a big win if you get Hoyas win, Hoyas win, Hoyas win, Hoyas win, Hoyas win.
Yeah.
If you get that 18 or 19 times, it was a big win. I love listening to Rich Vodkin on the radio, coming home and listening to Georgetown games. I love it.
Oh, you ain't heard too much this year, did you?
No, not at all. You might got
about 11 times this year.
I think it might have been 13, but it wasn't what it should have been. But number 4,
I want your Georgetown Hoyas to perk up a little bit, man. I want you to be happy about them guys.
Well, it'll happen. Number 4, Johnny Holiday. Him and Chris Nocky doing Maryland games. I used to flip back and forth between Maryland and Georgetown games, riding home sometimes. They played at the same time. Number 3,
I forgot all about it.
Joe Beninati. Joe Beninati, and Smoking Al Koken are my hockey gurus. That's where I learned a lot of the game from. And sitting there with Maddie, it's always a beautiful thing. No, I cannot. If we're talking local hoops, we can't. No, we can't. And I
definitely can't. Y'all boys, wow.
Number 2, just like Jack said, you got to have both of them together, and it's Buck and Chenier.
Yep.
Buck and Chenier put me through. Like I was supposed to be in the bed watching Bullets games on HTS and Channel 20 when they came on network TV. I was supposed to be in the bed sleeping. I'm watching I'm peeking out through the covers watching Bullets games.
Yep. Same thing here.
Which is how I know so much about Rod Strickland and how he used to run the floor. But we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, no, KG.
Number 1, again.
Yeah. I did the same thing, man. I had this little, must have been a 10-inch black and white sitting right next to my bed, and had the covers like right here, but I could see. And them late games used to kill me, man. I'd sit waiting for a West Coast game, and I'd wake up and there'd be snow on the black and white. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I done passed the national anthem and everything before the damn TV station went down for the night. But yeah, I used to hide under my covers, and I had my black and white TV right there to try to watch Bullets games. Same.
Yep. See, and we all pretty much had the same childhood in a lot of ways.
Kind of.
Number 1, again, a package deal. Frank Herzog, Sonny Jurgensen, Sam Huff. That right there, that trio, that lineup got us through the glory years, as I like to call them. That was everything through the glory years. And when Sonny sparked up that victory cigar,
sir,
I said it the other night when we were talking about, matter of fact, Sunday when we were talking about it. Sonny sparked up that victory cigar. We needed a turnover. What'd he do? Rub the arrowhead. That's it. That's all we needed. A couple of comments real quick. J-Dub checking in saying, what up, folks? Perry checking in. He said, Mike Malone or Johnny Bryant. I think that's in reference to who are next for the Knicks. We talked about that earlier, Midnight Ride. If you could give, and Perry said he late, and no, I can't do a list without a Georgetown person. Not going to happen.
So let's jump back into that real quick.
Yes,
Still
sir.
a thing from Jack. Let's put the show in reverse and back up to that conversation.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Thibodeau. I thought we had that conversation about Thibodeau possibly getting fired if they didn't win. Maybe I had this conversation with somebody else.
Now you dabbled at it. You dabbled at it with us. We didn't come full swing with it, but you did mention it.
Because I think the problem is it's two things. It's one, I think he's one of those coaches after 5 years, 6 years, like he's a guy that got a lease. He can't buy. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's only good for 5 or 6 years at certain places. So that's one for me on him. Two, Jack mentioned it earlier. They moved a whole bunch of pieces because they thought Mikal Bridges was the next coming or the third piece. And for him to play and for them to use him as if he's like the fourth or the fifth option.
5 picks.
I'm sorry. I think that's the first reason he has to go. Because I know for a fact Leon is calling down, talking about play him more or get him the ball more. Management has to be, because they sacrificed so much for him. They gotta get something out of him. And I think Gibbs for them.
They sacrificed for Towns too. I mean,
that was all out of surplus.
They gave up players and a pick, so that's 6 picks total for 2 people because they gave up 5 for Bridges.
Yeah, but at that point they had something ridiculous.
The front office has screwed that up.
No, but they had some ridiculous amount of picks that you weren't going to ever take or use, so you had to get rid of them because they had like and Perry could probably say it better than I can, but I felt like the Knicks had like 15 or 16 picks in a stretch. So you can't use that all on players.
I wasn't aware of that.
So I do think they overpaid for Mikal Bridges. I didn't know if they knew who that was because of what they sent for him.
I don't think they used him right.
That's why I think Tibbs is gone.
I'm not sure it's all.
I think that's the other piece of that.
Okay.
I think Tibbs got outcoached. I think Carlisle outcoached him a little bit.
They got outplayed.
That's part of it too. I think those two go hand in hand sometimes.
All right.
I think they found a wrinkle, and their wrinkle was one of their wrinkles was get Cat in situations where he has to defend somebody that can move, and that's how you got him in foul trouble. They put him in pick and rolls. They made his guy be the screener, so that way he always had to jump out on the guard. And then you got him in space, and you know he can't do nothing in space. Mm-hmm. He looked like when he played defense, he like when Bambi first came out of the womb, sliding around on that ice. So, yeah. So I think that was one they had to make just because of. I think it was they had to make it because he didn't use the talent the way they wanted them to, and I think that's what it is. Go ahead to that next one.
When's game one? Tomorrow?
Thursday. Hockey game one is tomorrow night.
Okay. And a College World Series softball championship is tomorrow, 8 p.m.
Right. And Oklahoma. Oh, hold on. Let me finish with Perry's comments. That wasn't a sacrifice, Jack. That was a smart move. I agreed. Next one up. Yep. Outplayed and outcoached. I think those go hand in hand, man. Really, I do. Yep. Perry's right on point right now.
Yeah. No, Indy had more scorers than New York did, and Indy was longer than New York. Their defense was too much.
If I'm Bryant, I'll wait to see if the Knicks show me interest because that Suns job is going to be a tough job because you're going to be catching L's. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised they didn't call Alvin Gentry just so he could catch the losses and add to his tremendous loss record because he's not going to be good for a minute. You traded all your picks. You don't really have picks anytime soon. I don't know how you make this. The only way you can get this team back to some level of being prominent is you got to move some of these guys out the way. And you got to hope you get a haul for either a KD or Booker because you're not getting anything for Bill. You call somebody and say, hey, you want Bradley Bill, they might hang up the phone on you or ask if you're a time traveler.
But wait. When we said that, and we said that Bill wasn't even a star, he was just a player. Oh, why y'all hate Bradley Bill so much? Now you see, we saw it years before anybody else did.
I know I argue with you because at the time he was the only thing holding the Wizards together,
holding them back.
That's when y'all had like dudes' names that were watches. You had like Cartier Martin or something like that. Alvin Agee and y'all just had dudes.
Alvin Agee, goddamn! You watching Hoop Dreams?
Y'all had an Agee. It wasn't Alvin Agee, but
Perry said wouldn't be surprised if he gets the job over Malone. Malone was one of my picks. We named 5 coaches, Perry. Sam Cassell was one. Malone, Budenholzer, Vogel, and then I threw Patrick Ewing in as a legacy pick. I think he'll get a interview, but I don't think he'll get the job.
He's a big.
And if you had to pick, who would you be? Who would you take, Perry? I mean, you're Nick, man. Who would you take? And he said, remember, Bryant was the top assistant in New York for the past 4 years before going to Cleveland.
Got you.
Yep.
Bring him home.
But no, Patrick's not going to get a look because he's a big. The NBA doesn't hire big guys as coaches anymore. Patrick should have had a job a long time ago, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Kareem, he don't got enough promising bench time. He doesn't have enough.
He was on the bench in Washington. He was on the bench in Houston. He was the one that mentored Shaq. I'm sorry, he mentored Yao and Mutombo in Houston.
Yeah.
And then also he mentored a young Dwight Howard in Orlando. He got plenty of bench time. And Perry said Rose would not have made that move without a clip in the chamber. And he said none of those outside of Malone.
I agree with that.
And he said his pick would be Bryant.
I keep telling you every time you bring up this situation and this person, he's not getting the coaching job right now. And I hate to say it that way. I think Cassell's just I just don't see an owner putting him as the face of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a coaching thing. I told you what it is. It's an aesthetics thing. And I hope I'm wrong on that. But I think that has a part to play in it, man.
I don't know what to say.
Say I did, Minarada. Just say I did.
Well, we talked about that, but I know you said that it was discussed, but this was a surprise to me. And I told Jack this early in the show. I said, this is a surprise to me that they fired Tibbs. But I'm thinking about it. I'm like, they're not going to go defensive coach next. They're not going to do it. They're going to find somebody with an offensive mind because defensively, in my honest and humble opinion, I don't think this team played defense the way a Tom Thibodeau team would play defense. Not because they weren't capable. I mean, things have changed, but they got to play that up and down game. Go ahead.
No, you said it right. I think the reason is they're not capable. You got two liabilities on the court. You got Baby Brunson and you got Towns.
Meow.
So I think those are the two people that struggle on defense because you can shoot over Brunson and he's not really trying to play too much defense. And I think the other part is Towns doesn't really want any part of defense. He want to get back on the other end and try to get his off. So,
oh my God, if it's not BJ talking about playing with it, it's you talking about getting it off.
Oh shit.
Oh boy. All right. That's you. You got it.
Y'all stupid.
Oh man. But all jokes aside, I'm gonna be honest with you. If Karl Anthony Towns played the way that I said he should have played after that Boston series, even during the Boston series, if he would have been a 20-20 man, which he should have been, he could have put them on his back and carried them. Don't tell me he's not capable, because he is capable. He's capable of being a 20-20 man, but he has to show up nightly. You can't show up on Tuesday night and then don't show up on Thursday.
Well, you giving him a transplant?
What, a heart transplant?
Yeah, you gotta do something.
If he's gonna be cat, like I said, he can't. He was a lynx. He was pretty good. He was a lynx. But bro, you need to be a tiger, a lion. You need to be a panther. You need to be something vicious.
Well,
that's what
KG,
you gotta be. Yes, sir.
For the playoffs, Cat was 21-11. 21-11 with 1.5 assists, under a block, under a steal. I mean, and you play more minutes in the playoffs, so your numbers should go way up. Let me see, what was his number during regular season? 2011 in the postseason, so.
This is Tibbs we're talking about. So this man's probably the same.
Regular season, he was 24-12. So his points were up a little bit in the season. His rebounds were up a tad. So he didn't play more minutes. He didn't really put that better numbers up. He's averaging 35 minutes a game in the season. And he played
But you got to remember in this series, he was also in foul trouble a lot too. So
True
that affected his minutes.
He played the same minutes, 35 and 35, which was his postseason average and his regular season average in minutes. So it was the same, and his numbers were higher in the regular season.
Because you played a wide open game.
Yeah, that's competition. I get it. But come playoffs, that's when it's time to ball. Leave it all on the court.
Exactly.
I don't feel that he did. And just like Charles and Shaq said on the after show, you got to stop them dumb fouls. Anthony grabbed the guy by his arm just because he got by him. And that was like his third or fourth foul. So he got so many dumb fouls in these playoffs that I noticed. Got to become a smarter player, and maybe that'll make his numbers go up.
Oh, shoot. All right. I know y'all talked baseball earlier. I see my guy, Jack Caglione, the kid from Florida, got called out by the Royals today. He's in the lineup. That's the kid he was the pitcher / batter. He was trying to do both, but he only got drafted as a hitter.
Mm-hmm. Who's he running with?
The Royals.
Kansas City, okay.
J Dub said, I think their best chance would be trying to get Udoka from Houston. But I really don't think that would happen.
Yeah, I agree, Jack. I don't think so either. Houston's on the way up.
Yep.
Houston is definitely on the way up. You better watch out for them young boys next year. See what they get in the draft. They're nice.
I think they're going to have to move some people.
Might be that time.
I think they got to move a guy or two to get somebody in, and then once they get that person in, they'll be good. Like maybe they get a vet. I mean, I know there's talks. I've seen talks on a couple of pages talking about KD. That could be interesting. There's another one that talked about Booker. Can't think of who else they had rumored to go to Houston, but I think they're gonna have Houston make a move because they got you that kid Reed Shepard sitting on their bench that's not really playing, and if they like him, they need to get him some minutes.
Yeah, he's nice. Reed Shepard's nice, man.
Yep.
So we come time to wrap that up, B. Early tonight, but we got to talk about when we come back on Thursday, we'll be talking hockey. We'll be starting the NBA finals. We'll be talking more college World Series on the men's and women's side. We're going to do top 5 sportscasters.
We'll have a champion.
Huh?
We will have a college World Series softball champion by Thursday. So we're breaking that news.
You think so?
It's Wednesday night.
I thought the women's was 2 out of 3.
You got a point.
I thought the women and the men were 2 out of 3.
Yeah, one of them's got one loss though. One of them's got to beat the other twice, and I'm sorry, I don't know which one it is. Damn it! You are correct. The championship is 2 out of 3. You're right.
And I thought that was just a separate series. I didn't think that had anything
You're
to
right.
do.
It is. It's a 3-game series. You're exactly right. I screwed up.
And
right.
I heard you mention her. You mentioned the $1 Million Girl, the pitcher from Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm. She transferred from Stanford.
Yep.
Yeah. $1 million.
There you go, baby. Must be.
And that's not softball money. You don't see millions being thrown around softball. That's how bad this girl is.
No, it's also the South, and it's softball.
She's got a 0.90 ERA, dude.
Yep.
That's just unheard of.
You got to remember, Oklahoma just finished the 4-peat.
I know. But they eat
so
five.
Tech,
Oklahoma tied up in the 7th. Yeah.
And I think Texas Tech was in a couple of those finals with them. So that's the motivation for that $1 million was we can't get past Oklahoma.
Correct. They've been 3 times in the past 4 years. They've been in the championship and got beat by Oklahoma.
Yep.
Each time. So maybe it's their time to get flowers. But I like that Texas team too. That Mac Morgan, she's a beast on the mound. They do 2 pitchers yesterday to get the shutout over Tennessee, man. Now Tennessee was one of the favorites for this, but Tennessee just couldn't get their pitching going. 7-0. Texas beat Tennessee to come to this championship game. So yes, as Midnight Rider said, it's a 2 out of 3 series now. So we should know the champion by Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, gents. One more comment before we go. J Dub said, "Better late than never, folks. Always a good show. Thank you for showing up. Appreciate
Thanks for jumping in, Jack."
That goes out to J Dub, Perry, Midnight Rider, who's sitting right here, out of bounds. And Kim Parrott was ahead of her time. I love that comment. I love it. Out of bounds. I love it.
Oh yeah, good old out of bounds. KG's out of bounds. Y'all stupid.
Yeah, I like this background.
This job is good. You got the green screen now?
No, I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about the background that we got with the mic and the Sideline Junkies joint.
Yeah, that's right.
You talking about this beautiful thing right here?
Yes,
I want that. Give me that in AI.
What you mean in AI?
I'll put it on a shirt. .ai, I think it's called. We'll talk at the show.
I can send you the image because it's one of the ones that I made up.
It's got to be a certain format though for this company. They say.
I got you.
And .ai is one of them. Because I'm trying to get a couple more shirts made. I thought BJ was working on something, but we'll talk at the show.
Well, for the Gentleman Jack, the Midnight Rider, I'm the big guy KG. See ya. Oh, wait. I'm doing a disservice. Jack, who you got in the passenger seat tomorrow before we get out of here?
Well, thank you, KG. Thank you, sir. Tomorrow night, me and the Midnight Rider, my backseat driver, we're going to welcome in former 2-time All-American at the University of Maryland lacrosse player Dan LaMonica. Dan's going to be on the show, and he tells me he's got quite a story to tell. I look forward to talking about his days in College Park. I think Dan he graduated somewhere around 2002, but we'll get the numbers straight tomorrow. Check us out, man. It's going to be a great interview with Dan. And then we're going twice a week again next week, everybody. We're doing Monday and Wednesday now. Both shows start at 8 p.m. We got a little backlog on guests, and I want to get them out fast as we can to let you folks see this great show we're putting out. And what's that show called, Midnight Rider?
It's called In the Passenger Seat.
Man, I want to hear some enthusiastic.
Oh, my bad. I was giving you a KG voice. My bad.
Whoa.
Okay. I thought it your way again. What's that show called, Midnight Rider?
It's called In the Passenger Seat, baby, with Jack Carr. Midnight Riders.
Yes,
we everywhere, baby.
Check us out tomorrow, man. We have a lot of fun. It's an interview show for some of you that haven't watched it yet. So we interview former coaches, former athletes, current coaches, current athletes, former officials, current officials, and maybe even a big-time sports fan. If you know somebody that fits that profile, shoot us a direct message, and we'll see if we can't get something lined up. We're looking for all kind of guests, man. It does not matter. And for you ladies out there, we got a couple female guests coming up in the next couple weeks. So we like to share the love. And in the passenger seat, that's what we do. Thanks, KG.
Yes, indeed. So let's try this one more time. For the Gentleman Jack, the Midnight Rider, I'm the big guy, KG. I guess we can start saying we don't do no overtime when we come in under 2 hours. So, but we don't do no overtime. We are out of here.